Welcome back to the Tkacs channel. The Gaerne Fastback Endurance Enduro boot it's a great find if you're an adventure rider looking for a motocross level protection in a boot that's very comfortable while riding your adventure bike. It's definitely been a win for me. I've spent the riding season using this boot, breaking it in, seeing how it works, and it's got some unique features that really make it stand out for adventure riders. This is a really good find. It's a good mix. It really just squeaks into that level 3 motocross category. It hits every point that I have, but as an adventure rider, this is a great find. It has to have abrasion protection for sliding down the road. All the boots are pretty much going to meet that category. The second one is midsole support. And what I'm looking at here is the support right along here. When you're standing on the boot, does it have flex going back? Does it have flex going down? And what I'm looking for is not just the protection that offers me if I come off the bike, but this is really about fatigue and comfort. If you have a lot of flex in the boot through the middle, when you're standing up on those pegs off-road or riding on the gravel or dirt roads, your feet are going to get very fatigued, you're going to get hot spots, it's going to feel bad. This is one of the reasons why you see these massive oversized foot pegs that are so popular amongst adventure riders. That's because they're wearing adventure street touring boots rather than proper off-road boots. That midsole support on this boot is absolutely excellent. I had no fatigue in there. It really helps me lock into the bike and had very, no foot fatigue really, as far as I'm concerned, boot related. The next thing I'm going to look is mid-calf height, and I want to make sure that it's high enough that if we have any strikes off-road, mostly if all you GS riders with the cylinders up there, some of you guys with your crash bars, if you're going to hit that with the shin, if you have anything kicking up, but also that mid-height support is really necessary for ankle protection to protect from a roll. The higher the boot, it's going to be able to clamp down provided it has the other points that are necessary. This is definitely a full height motocross style boot. It is a tall boot. The crush protection, what we're looking at is crush protection is just when the boot falls down, can you squish it? How tight is that going to be? Does it bend when you pull on it, or does it actually have support at the ankle? This one definitely has that crush protection. When I think crush, what I'm thinking of is if that bike falls over on you and you get stuck between your pannier, the boot, and a rock, what's your chances of reducing or preventing that injury? This one definitely has crush protection. It is not as good as some of the other motocross style boots, but it definitely pushed into that motocross category. The hyperflexion, there is absolutely zero movement in that toe at all. And that dials really well in with that midsole protection. So the sole of this boot is very stiff. I did not find it uncomfortable for walking and going around in, but this is definitely motocross quality as far as the stiffness goes. The toe box has a very rigid toe box. Now this is someplace you're really going to want to try this boot on and know if it fits you well. What I found is that it really didn't break in. The whole season I worked on this. I mean, the upper boot kind of loosened up a little bit, but as far as the toe box goes, this toe box is a solid plastic cup, and that plastic is not going to change shape or form. It offers phenomenal toe box protection, but at the cost of comfort or fit. And for me, I had one part of my foot that kind of pushed up against that plastic. It really wasn't an issue, but it was noticeable. I would definitely try the boot on. If it fits, that's great. If it doesn't fit, then you might want to move on and look at a different shape of a boot. The torsional protection, now this is a big one, and it matters a lot because a lot of motocross boots are designed typically so that the armor slides down inside the boot with your leg. As adventure riders, very few of us ride that way. Most of us are going to have pants that go over the boot, over the top of it, and our armor is going to be sitting somewhere on the front of it, not down inside the boot. This boot allows a substantial amount of adjustability where you can open up the shin, where you can make this part of the boot move forward and you can get armor inside. Or if you look at this one, and this is what I really liked about this boot that stood out, is on these clips, and you can see here, there are multiple holes where this clip can be slid forward or backwards on the body of the boot, or the upper part of the boot here. So not only can we adjust the clips at the front, but we can move this part back to really clamp this boot down, allowing us to get that nice tight fit against the upper leg. Now, if the boot is loose at the upper part, you're not going to get torsional protection even if the boot can provide it. I did lose a couple of screws here in the clips. I hadn't got in and tightened those up, so I definitely recommend that you pull the screws out, put a little bit of Loctite on there once you get the boot adjusted, and then just lock those down, especially these upper clips. Once you find the adjustment that's right for you, just pull these screws out, put some Loctite on them, and that'll help you keep from losing that screw. The buckles themselves look pretty basic. When I first look at them, they have a plastic base and a little bit of a metal clip. There's nothing fancy or cool looking at them. I've got some other boots from other brands that are super neat, techie looking. These were kind of disappointing in that until I started using them and realized these buckles are fantastic. The way these work is you have a scooped back edge. So once it gets into that clip, it just very simply comes back. I don't end up with a buckle clip that's twisted or anything like that. It looks simple, it works well. The metal, I have fallen in love with this buckle system. So that's a fantastic point. It does have an articulated heel. It is on both sides, so those are screwed. You do have a hinge point there. It allows a little bit of flexibility for walking. That's always a concern for adventure riders. It has a good strike protection at the back of the heel. The front of the boot isn't too tall at the toe. It's not quite as short as some of the other boots like the CD Crossfire. It's not quite as tall as some of your Alpenstars, so it's a nice compromise in between. But again, if you're expecting to have some flexibility in this, like an adventure boot, that lower boot is going to be a lot more like a ski boot. That's a good thing, but there is enough flexibility in this. I did not feel uncomfortable walking. I spend a fair bit of time walking around when I'm teaching, along with the riding, so I do have quite a bit of a standing and walking time on it. The rest of the boot's been pretty quality. I haven't picked up any odor inside. That material has done really well at staving that off. There's no cracks, there's no tears, normal scuffs. They started off with a polish on them that looked like I was going to a ball, and of course, you know, after you ride for a while, that becomes a lot duller. If you put on the boot and you don't like how shiny they are, don't worry about it. Once you use them, that's going to go away. They'll blend right in. I'm going to give a thumbs up for these. I do like the Gaerne's. The Fastback Endurance Enduro boot is one that has been very popular amongst my students this season. I've seen a lot of my riders using them. All of them have had good comments about them. I haven't heard any complaints from anybody, and I can understand why after using them. I'd like to thank Atomic Moto for sending these out. We have an agreement with them to do some boot testing. He sends them out, lets me use them for an entire season, beat them up, trash them, and then I just send them back to him when I'm all done with it. And it's time to send these back. But these are a great boot. I recommend them. The only recommendation is that try the boot on, make sure it fits. If it fits when you put it on, you're solid, you're good, go with it. If it doesn't fit, if your foot hurts, if you're feeling pressure, especially up in that toe area or on those upper bones, then you're gonna wanna pass on the boot. It does have pretty good space up there. I'm not saying it's a narrow boot, it's not. There's a lot of toe space in the boot and a lot of foot space. It's just one of those where if the shape is good, it's good, and the shape isn't good, it's not gonna change. Thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for all of you on Patreon that keep this channel alive so I can do things like this. I have not been sponsored. There is no payment on this. Gaerne is not paying me. They did not give me the boots. Atomic Moto, although they are a great group of guys over there, sending me out these to test these. They do it on their own dime, their own dollar. They get them back trashed and beat up. There is no exchange of anything like that. So my reviews, this channel is completely and fully funded by all of you who make donations through YouTube, and for all of you that make monthly support through Patreon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time.